Hello, friends. This is Sarah May, and this is an episode for Fran. Hang in there. Hope this helps. So this is a podcast for. I'm just calling it gut punch because it's just for that pain that is so raw, and it's when you are just kind of in a broken state and you just feel really exposed. So it's for anyone that has had something kind of take the wind out of them, and maybe you're hurting pretty bad and you're in kind of like a triage, just needing to spoon yourself state. So you're just very fragile as it is, and you're having to go out in the world and just be in places that make you feel even more vulnerable. So maybe you're working on healing, but when you are this exposed in particular kinds of environments, like maybe you're at work or you're having to take care of others, it just makes you feel really, really incapable and overwhelmed, and it just becomes really hard to stop yourself from welling up with tears just because it's just the most raw place you can be in. And I know that super, super deep kind of gut pain that just makes you want to curl up in a ball and stay in bed. And so, if this is how you are feeling right now, or maybe you're kind of dipping in and out of that, I'm creating this so hopefully it can ground you and kind of level you back out and just help you have something to hold on to, like a tether to reality in those moments. So when you are in a raw state, like you are like basically an open wound, you will feel only completely aware of your vulnerability. So you'll just feel basically how fragile you are. And you'll also be feeling the effects of just the deep bruise of whatever has just gone through your life. So there's two different kinds of pain. And in short, this is a really tough spot to be in. So it can induce kind of overwhelming waves of agony, and they can kind of make you completely disoriented and disconnected from reality. And it basically makes the pain or the badness of what your life is like completely out of proportion. So it's not realistic, not true, not rational. It's completely a result of your emotional state. So I'm going to break this up into 3 parts. Hopefully, part 1 will give you some perspective just so you can see where you are from somebody that can see you from outside of your pain. So it'll hopefully ground you a bit more. Part 2 is just what to expect in the time moving forward from now, just so you have something to hold on to or look forward to. And then part 3 is just a few tools to use in the moment of feeling just overwhelming pain. Part 1, where you are right now. And it's kind of like what everyone else sees that you can't see. So you are in the very beginning of healing. Like you are just in the very, very start of it. So it's a chemical low. And there's a lot you can do to help manage the pain and kind of level out your emotions. But a lot of it is just par for the course. It's got to happen because it's kind of an injury that needs to take its course. So all of this is going to be about managing pain and kind of performing really basic self-care. As an aside, though, on the outside, everything in your life is much more okay than it feels like it is. So the chemicals you're going through right now emotionally, those are making you feel as though everything is just destroyed and you're doomed and everything is going to fall apart and you look terrible and everyone hates you and all that stuff. It's just a very, very dark cloud. And that's obscuring your vision. That's all you can see. That's not what everybody else sees. And in truth, everything is much more okay than you think it is. So what you need to do is, besides creating a routine for yourself where you can take care of yourself, just going through the motions, you also need to create as many tethers to others that are stable around you, just as many kind of lifelines as you can create, just to help you move through this time with ease. Your life is going to be totally different in 6 months from now. In fact, probably more like 3 months from now. But you can't tell because you are in the thick of it. So just right now, be gentle with yourself. Literally, keep going through the motions, keep passing the time, and don't demand more of yourself than you can handle. And don't jump anywhere in the future. Like, don't get stuck in the what ifs or the why me or what's wrong with me. All that crap is just the voice of your pain and suffering. And it's just that dark cloud. So you need to heal, you need to become balanced, and you need to not give any of that muttering any of your time. So if you feel like you're going to lose it, like if you're like, oh my God, I'm losing it, I'm totally untethered to the world, I mean, you might be able to actually do that. You can actually allow yourself to wail and let it out and feel that pain, but you have to then put it away. You can allow yourself to process things, but then decide you're going to stop. You have to get back, kind of gather yourself up again out of the little pile you fall into, and get back into your routine immediately. So go take a shower, eat food that is healthy, go to sleep at a reasonable hour, keep going through your routine. So don't overthink this place in your life. And it's just a big stage of healing that you're going to have to move through, and you will grow doubly strong as a result of it. Just having gone through this, you will grow a new muscle that will allow you to avoid this forever. So just be really kind and gentle with yourself right now. Which brings me to part 2, what to expect moving forward. So the better you can be about just moving through the motions, through your routine of self-care, and just taking breaks when you need to, and making sure you get enough exercise, you're eating a stable diet, the faster you are going to gain that just break in the clouds, the more rational perspective. So each day is going to get easier, and each day you will grow stronger. And then with time, your life will become clear to you. Like, things will start to make sense again. You'll kind of remember yourself. You'll remember exactly how strong and capable you are. And you'll just start to gain speed. And so, depending on every different kind of person, it can take different amounts of time to process this pain. So, if you feel like you need help doing that, I recommend a therapist. And if you can't see a therapist for some reason, then I just think creating that really, really positive routine for yourself that fills every facet of your life with support. So that means positive resources like really, positive, happy, funny films like on a loop on your TV, all the friends that can be supportive to you, all the right kind of books that can be inspiring and supportive to you, all just soothing, calming activities, and just very consistent self-care. So I'm guessing you will feel a complete total 180 from where you are now in 3 months at least. And you'll just have a different perspective on your life. But you really have to keep moving through this time and just processing just getting the chemicals to move through your body, because it is a very strong force. Just the pain, the emotional pain can really take you down. So whatever you do, do not analyze the kind of painful mutterings of your bruised mind, because everything you see is going to be a reflection of just your trauma, like your bruise. It's not reality. So just spend some time with people who can really ground you and soothe you, and just allow your skin to kind of rebuild and scar over, because everything is going to be much more manageable when you are a little bit more healed. Um, so with time, everything's gonna pass. And that brings me to part 3. Some tools just to help manage the pain in the day-to-day. So depending on what's happened to you, it can be a really tough battle just to get through a day without crying, or it's just a painful place to be, period. Like, the actual minutes are excruciating. I know you already know this, but especially when you're in those environments that really don't support you and like make you feel even more exposed, that can be even worse. Like, it can make you feel even more low, just because you are so vulnerable. So the most important thing I want to tell you is your job, your primary job right now, first and foremost, is to take care of yourself. Like, that is your top priority. And that means that takes priority over politeness to others. It takes priority over other people's expectations. takes priority over things that don't really matter that much. Like, if you are having a really hard time, you should allow yourself to take a break for 10 minutes and just excuse yourself. And you don't owe it to anybody else to tell them where you're going or why. That is your business. And it's your responsibility to take care of yourself in those moments that you need to. I think a lot of the time we tell ourselves, like, I can't though. I just can't. They'll think it's like, no, this is not, that's not true. You are always allowed to take care of yourself. And right now, that's really your top priority. So even if it's at work, and I know it's not, you can't always just leave for 10 minutes, but that would be ideal. Like when you need to, you are going to take care of you. But I suggest making up excuses. So if you, and like completely legitimate ones, like you can say like, I have to take a phone call. That's not that bad. And it's worth it in a time like this to protect yourself. So regardless, I know for some people that's not possible just to leave. So I'm going to give you some tools that you can use just mentally and that allow you to protect yourself in the very moment. And the most important part of all of this healing is that you really respect your own needs as like a priority, and you just make it just really important to you to be soothed, because that a lot of the time isn't something we believe to be necessary. We put that so low on the totem pole of important or mandatory things. So tool number one is called the magic button. And I've shared this one before, I think, on one other post, but it's a tool for situations where you are really exposed and you can't leave or you can't get away. So while you are at home, find a button, like a really nice button or a stone. And I also like smooth crystals or a ring, maybe like a charm on a bracelet, something that has like a really distinct and pleasing texture. So spend some time selecting that thing, and maybe it should be something with significance to you or something that feels weighty somehow, like you'd imagine it be connected to a ritual, or maybe it's just nostalgic somehow. So something with importance. Whatever it is, it should be something that feels good in your hand. So grab that item and sit with this item while you're at home in kind of your most comforting space. And so you can even light a candle to add to this ritual. And you can even look in the mirror. So you're going to hold onto this item tightly, and you're going to say aloud to yourself, just looking at this thing, nothing can hurt me. I am safe. I am okay. And this time will very soon pass. Nothing can hurt me. I am safe. I am okay. This time will very soon pass. So just keep this item with you in your pocket or in your purse or even sitting right in front of you on your desk, like directly in front of you, wherever it is, somewhere close to you. So throughout your day, just periodically hold on to this and just focus on that meaning and really savor what it symbolizes and what it grounds you to in your home. And just pull it out when you feel overwhelmed or overcome or you're starting to feel triggered. Just refocus on that place and on that truth. Remind yourself you are safe, you are taking care of yourself, and this time is passing quickly. So if you don't like the button idea, an alternative to this is a coat with like really nice stitching, or even an overshirt with really fine stitching, something where you have some sort of delicate detail that you can examine in secret. So like a silky lining of a pocket. Another one I like is a really fluffy sweater or like a puffy coat. So something with padding. And that would be that you would just focus on just kind of a large, like the fact that it's a large protective layer, the life vest. So choose whichever thing you prefer, like the button, because it's just so different. I think it can become more magical that way if you have this secret button. Next, moving on. Tool number two, intervals. So this is a tool that kind of allows you to break up your day. So if you're suffering moving through those minutes and it's just super overwhelming how endless that day feels in the morning, just play along with what I'm telling you. And I know it's a bit sneaky, but it doesn't matter because right now you are what is most important to take care of. So set an alarm on your phone let's say every 45 minutes, depending on the length of your day or your needs, and just create that ringtone that's similar to your phone ring. So every time you hear that alarm go off, you're going to take the phone for a private phone call and basically go outside. You can even notify people you are going to be around that you're going to have to take phone calls. Either go outside, go in the bathroom, wherever you're going to go somewhere where you can kind of hide yourself away a bit and listen to either a podcast for 5 minutes, something inspiring, or hear me now. It's good. It actually is really cool. Basically, leave yourself a voicemail or a voice recording and just like talk to yourself. You're going to be saying just like words of support to yourself and almost like commiserating with yourself like a friend. So something like, hey there. So this is the first of my 5 calls, and this is going okay. It's kind of tough. Kind of don't want to be here, but whatever. And this person's acting weird, and that person's cool, but whatever. And when I get home, I'm thinking I want to have steak, and maybe I'm going to eat that nice cheese I bought. Okay, gotta go. Bye. So that was my sample message to myself. You get the idea. But you would be surprised just how comforting the sound of talking to yourself can be. And it's like this really wonderful secret little convo you get to have. So that's intervals. And next tool, moving on. This is the emergency cord. So this is the tool I think everyone should have, period. Whether or not you're in an emotional state like this or not, it's really important to have this. So this is basically a list of 5 to 10 things. I think the more the better. So if you get to like 8-ish, 7-ish, you're going to create a list for yourself that you're going to have on your phone or in your wallet, maybe on your iPhone skin or whatever phone you have. And things on this list are in order of how effective they will be when you really, really need them. So that includes how accessible they will be or how practical they will be. So I think include at least one phone call to a friend and like one class or meeting, something where like maybe a 12-step group meeting, some sort of group or social location, like where you can be around people that like you really feel a connection to or supported by, some sort of environment like a class, I think is good. Anyway, so for example, my list. Number 1, call Adam or my mom or dad or sister. Number 2, go for a hike. Number 3, yoga class. Number 4, a handstand in my office or a forward fold breathing for 5 minutes. So, like, really slow, deliberate breathing. And yes, I literally do handstands in my office. Number 5, hand over heart breathing, sitting in the car. That's just like imagining bright white light filling your heart and breathing in slowly in and out. Number 6, hang loose breathing, wherever I happen to be sitting, and that's just what I call that. I don't know where it's from actually, but it's a breathing exercise where you close one nostril and breathe in all the way on the other nostril, then plug that nostril, breathe all the way out, and then breathe all the way back in on the other nostril. I don't know if that made sense. And all to count of 6. Next on my list, number 7 is watch Ratatouille at home on a loop. And that's because that movie is so wonderful and comforting to me. I just love it. Number 8, listen to an inspiring podcast and take a walk. That is always a good one. Number 9, go to the beach and write to myself on my phone. Like literally, I treat it like a journal and I just kind of narrate to myself. Number 10, read from one of the many educational, inspirational books I have on my phone and take a walk on a fake phone call with headphones on. The headphones make a huge difference. So if you have them, put them on. Suddenly you're like private. You're in private world. So if you are really suffering, go to the item on your list, call the person, whatever it is. Make sure you abide this list, as it's really important to just demonstrate to yourself basically that you can rely on you. Like it helps you feel much more at ease when you know you're actually going to show up for yourself. And that is a really important bond to keep strong right now. So just let go of the other expectations of others, especially right now. And to help you in the moment, like if you're really suffering in the moment, I wanted to close this with like a little paragraph to listen to literally during that moment. So you could basically scrub to the end of the track and just listen to it when you're suffering, and you just need to hear somebody else kind of ground you. So before I do that, I'll just do my little obligatory spiel, all the business stuff. So if you have time, please review me on iTunes because it'll help me continue doing this show, and I love to do it. And if you don't have iTunes, please heart me on SoundCloud or share with anybody. Anything really. It'll help me out a lot. And thank you, and I hope you liked this, and I send you my love, and don't forget to smile, y'all. Alrighty, so that's not the end. I'm gonna do this last tool number 4. If you're in it right now and it hurts, firstly, can you get to somewhere safe? Where are you? Are you in a secure place? If not, just keep acting like you're doing whatever you're supposed to be doing. So it's no biggie. No one can tell. Keep your headphones on. Firstly, I am so sorry you are in pain because this is a really, really tough spot to be in. And I know you have been through a lot. And this is one of the hardest places you will ever be in right now in your life. But it's going to end very quickly. It's super uncomfortable right now, but you are very, very strong. And you probably can't tell how strong you are because you're feeling just pain. But you are doing all the things you need to right now. You're taking care of yourself. You're protecting yourself. Just by listening to this right now, that shows you are very capable and you are very strong. You will absolutely move through this time and you will heal. And one day your life will be completely different. You will completely forget you ever felt this way. So just take some really deep, soothing breaths and just take your right hand, if you can, and hold it over your left forearm and just give it a squeeze. Just like a nice, firm, soft squeeze. That does make sense, but you get what I mean. So this is you taking care of you. You are there for you right now. You are okay. You will always be okay because you have you. And that you is wonderful. You is so valuable. And you are so worth taking care of and worth loving and worth protecting. And you're so far along your path, but you can't tell. You can't tell how far you've come yet. You have healed so much in just even the last 12 hours. But just keep your eye on the next best step you can take. Just keep passing the time, going through the motions, and keep your focus on the practical, physical execution of your routine. So almost like don't invest in any of this emotionally. Just kind of watch yourself going through the motions of your day and know that you are kind of protected inside of yourself. You are safe. No one can penetrate that. No one can read your thoughts. No one can make you feel anything you don't decide to feel. And just know that your life is going to look so much different in the very near future. You will laugh. You will laugh really hard. You'll be sassy and silly, and you'll be irreverent, and you'll snarf, and you'll choke on your soda. You're laughing so hard, like so much. You'll be so happy. You will be completely yourself again one day. Just there's going to be so much new awesome stuff to come, and the range of your lifetime is just going to be so vast. It won't be anything like this, and you will be very grateful to have moved through this time being so good to yourself. And one day you will be completely in love with just everything about your life. You will be your best self, and you will be that best self because you did what you had to soothe yourself in this time, because you were good enough to yourself that you kind of demonstrated just how strong you were. And you're really good at doing what you need to right now. I can tell because you're listening to this. So if you start to get overwhelmed with your thoughts, just don't jump past today, this moment. That's all you have to worry about. Just taking the next best first step you can. Don't go past that. Just first things first. And be very, very gentle with yourself. This too shall pass. And no matter what, know that I will be thinking of you and I'm rooting for you. And I am placing an imaginary bubble of protection around you right now, like a force field. Nothing can hurt you. I send you my love and vibes of positivity. And imagine I am looking at your face right now. So smile. Hope this helped. Good luck.